Right, Shalom. Just give me 1 second while I, set this thing up real quick. Okay, let's get this going. Okay, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And as you can see in the title, are you ready for the N.W.O? Because it's ready for you. And this is a title that came to me, as throughout the day, as we know, they're having their World Economic Forum, meeting at Davos, whatnot in Switzerland. And you have all these so-called elites, all right, which are really just lower level elites. The ones that you hear about and you see out in the open, those are lower level elites, frontmen, that just they're doing the passing on the message from the higher level elites. All right, so you have your Klaus Schwab and all these other people that are there, right? Now, through George Soros, okay. So throughout their meeting, there you can hear they're having these they're pitching out these plans and these ideas and different parts of different agendas that they need to work on, that they need to move towards, that they need to deal with. And as you listen to these things, they talk about speech, they talk about Russia and food, and they talk about transition. Okay, that's the key word, transition. Okay, so transition, you're changing from one state to another. All right, you got to ask yourself, what transition are they talking about? Because there were talks about how it's going to be a painful transition, but we should the national states shouldn't shy away from it. They shouldn't resist it. Okay, so as you're listening, you're hearing these talks, and these are people, right, that have come together and they're actually planning out planning out what the world is going to look like according to their plans, according to their agenda. And now it's to the point where they're I don't know if it's just me, but this is more publicly known, especially now, with this meeting that they're having this time. It's as though they're allowing it to be more publicized, to go out more, to where they're slowly but surely letting the people know openly, yeah, this is what we're getting ready to do. We're not covering it up anymore. We're not putting it on CTs, right? Conspiracy theorists, and saying these are their ideas, their radical, crazy ideas. No, we're actually coming out and letting you know this is what we have to do. And that's because I mentioned a while back that when you have a plan, it doesn't matter how secret the plan is. At some point, the plan gets revealed, especially when you're enacting it. All right? Because even if you didn't tell anybody what your plan is, they'd be watching like, yo, what's this guy doing? Yo, what's he doing? Yo, what's he doing? And then eventually they'll catch on. He's putting this over here. He's picking it. Oh, that's what he's trying to do. So at some point, your plan is there's no way you can, fully enact such a world dominatory, if that's a word, plan without it being known or revealed. So what they're doing now is they're reducing the momentum of the punch by revealing it themselves, slowly but surely. And they're basically giving all this power to this new system. That's the transition. When they said the new normal, it was far more than just the world after the CVPD. No, the new normal was literally the new normal for the world. Okay, and that's why you have this here, this WEF, World Economic Forum, which I forgot who it was that pointed it out. But when you look at how it's designed, you got these O's, right? And it's not by coincidence that you have this like semicircle-ish in a way, going through these three O's. Okay. And if you look at these O's, if you look at it with a spiritual eye, if you were to like go and follow this, this little image right here, it would look like the number 6, right? Because the way the semicircle has cut through this O, and then the same here, and then the same here, right? Now, somebody might say, oh, you're reaching, but then you got to ask yourself, why would you design it like this? And perfectly place the 3 different words with this semicircle within it, that it would intersect perfectly just like that. The scriptures say, don't be ignorant of any matter small or great. Nevertheless, I wanted to get into a few scriptures here, because what we're actually witnessing as they're having these meetings is the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai coming to pass before our eyes. Okay, everything happening right now. I've gotten numerous breaking news notifications over the past few days just on earthquakes. Okay, this magnitude earthquake here, this magnitude earthquake here, this magnitude earthquake here. They're happening. But in the world today, they don't broadcast every single earthquake that happens on the mainstream media unless it's something dramatic. So just as Yahweh prophesied, we're seeing, famines, right? We're seeing earthquakes, and we're seeing pestilences. Okay, and what did he say? These are the beginning of sorrows. So our Lord was spot on, and the reason is because he saw it. He knew. He didn't just make he just threw out an opinion. So that's that. As we see these things coming, yeah, you may be in some straits now, but you got to understand. You got to actually have the mindset that, look, it's gonna get harder. Okay, that we can lay out there. It's gonna get harder, not impossible, but harder. But just because something is hard doesn't mean that you can't do it. It's about what mindset do you have going into it. You got to attack the hurdle. Okay, when you're doing like track and you're doing like hurdles, you got to attack the hurdle. You can't when you go over a hurdle, you don't the goal isn't to jump over the hurdle. Is to go right over it. You're sort of supposed to like glide right over it. So you're moving forward, not upward. All right, not per se. So when you watch, a lot of like hurdlers, you'll see that they're not going more so vertically up. They're sort of just running over the hurdle. Okay, and that's because they have the mindset of attacking the hurdle. So that's the mindset we got to have as these hurdles are coming. We got to attack the hurdle. But how are we going to attack the hurdle? We're going to attack the hurdle with faith. Okay, you got to believe that the faith the Lord has blessed you with, and the comfort of the scriptures and everything going on around you is enough to attack whatever hurdle comes your way. Because just because it's hard doesn't mean, okay, well, so what? So what? I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you actually gonna do? Okay, they said now, because that's what they're saying. There's digital ID. If you don't have it, you don't exist. You're not a part of society. You don't exist anywhere in the world. Okay? Anywhere in the world. So that means everything is going to be up to standard. And they're going to start coming for those that are not partakers, okay, of this new world, that are not with it. So that's why I titled it, Are You Ready for the N.W.O? Because it's ready for you. And it's ready to seek out and devour those that are not a part of it. It's like the Matrix. It's literally like the Matrix, how the what were they called? What they call Sentinels? They were called something. The machines, and they were looking for Morpheus, Trinity, Neo, and the crew. Why? Because they could sense that they weren't a part of the Matrix. They had escaped from the Matrix. See, so they weren't plugged in, and because they weren't plugged in, the machines just kept seeking them out and constantly seeking them out to destroy them, because they weren't plugged in. Well, what do you think this system is going to do? They're going to first plug everybody in, and those that refuse, those that are looked at as dissidents, they're going to come for you, because they're revealing slowly but surely the capabilities of this charagma, of this pill, of this CHIP. Okay, and they're letting you know, look, it can detect your heart rate. It can detect your pulse, your temperature. It can detect all of these things, and these are things that they're they're able to look at. And if you're standing in front of somebody, if they knew how to read, what heart, a fast beating heart or a rising temperature or a speeding up pulse meant, they'd be able to anticipate what you're going to do, right? To give you an example, two officers break into a house and they find the criminal that they're looking for. And then the criminal is standing there. He got his hands up, and the officer's like, freeze. He got his hands up. He looks to the left where the window is, and then he looks back at the officers. Now, if the officers could hear, and read those things, his pulse, his temperature, his heart rate, all of these things, they'd be able to anticipate this guy's going to try to jump out the window. Because when you have thoughts like that, when you actually start considering, yo, they're here, I don't want to go to jail, the window's up, fuck it, I might just jump out. Your body starts preparing you for that. So your heart starts to beat faster, to pump more blood. All right. And you start getting into that zone, getting ready to make that move, to dip. So they'd be able to detect that. Okay. So they can know if they find you somewhere, they can know if you're running, if you're currently running, if you stop running, where are you? What do you, pretty much a very, very high level of detecting and anticipating what it is you're thinking, what it is you're feeling, what it is you want to do, what it is you are doing. Okay. They can do that. That's the control they're going to have. But the problem, I mean, I speak as a man, but when you look at it, a lot of these people, you have some, of course, that are like, yeah, I'm embracing this new world. I'm down with it. I'm for the future, right? No one left behind. Okay. You're going to find out what that actually means. But you're going to have another majority of people that aren't going to be so excited, right? As to, yeah, I want to be a machine. I want to join this, more so out of consequence, fear of consequence. And the perfect trial run was with this Vanessa. They had, and they said it, incentives, right? Or consequences, restrictions or incentives. That's how you get two sides. There are those that are like, yeah, oh, I'm down with this. And there are those that are like, you know what, you give me a little sign, I'll be down. And then you have those that are like, I don't want to do it, but I feel like I'm being forced to and I have no other option. So they're going to do it. So you're going to have a lot of people that are not comfortable with this idea. But when they look around and they see this is the direction the whole world is going in, and they don't have the faith or the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, to ground them, to hold them firm, to hold them strong, their brain is going to justify, their flesh is going to justify, you know what? You got to do it. You only got one life. You got to do it. You got to live. You got to, you feed your family. The same excuses. Okay? You don't want what you want to be out there in the winter, in the cold, not having a place to stay, not having food to eat. These things are going to get to these people. So are you ready for the N.W.O? Because it's ready for you. And when you can hear what they're saying, they're ready. They're ready. All right, no more waiting. These guys are ready and they're getting ready to move. So now, Salakia, for all that talking, let me get into this precept. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 14. And we know the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter, is dealing with we know the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter, is dealing with this beast. Okay, it goes into the first beast, right? The ancient pagan Roman Empire, which really it started with the Greeks, all right, and then it really rose up. Its epic, its zenith, you could say, was the ancient pagan Roman Empire, all right, and then it goes into how it falls and then it comes back, okay, and then it hones in on America and all of that. Okay, so when you get down to the 14th verse, right, the key verses, that pertaining to prophecy that we really pay attention to here are the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th verses, right? But if you want to narrow it down, you deal with the 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th verses, all right? Because verse 17 is also very, very important as to identify what this charagma actually is. But I want to focus on verse 14, okay, because we're starting to really see that, heavily. Okay, 14, really 14 and 15. But in 14 it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Okay, and this is through his technology, being able to do something that otherwise is not naturally possible, right? With a miracle, oftentimes, it's like you're in a certain situation that you don't know how to get out of, because naturally there is no other way to go. But in something unexpected, something that is not normal, that doesn't normally happens, and it gets you out of that. You're blind, you can't see, right? There's no, just, I can't just put something on your eyes and you're gonna see. It's not like you can go to the hospital and they'll say, all right, let me just rub your eyes a bit and you can see. But like Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh Shai, touches you or says a few words to you, and now you can see. That's a miracle. Well, this devil is going to use his technology to try and do those things, as he's already doing. All right, prosthetic limbs, being able to have somebody interact with technology. If you're paralyzed, you'll still be able to interact with technology. All right, Neuralink, hearing aids, all of these things. And it says what? Here's the key part: saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. Now we know that this image is the system that goes all the way back. It's rooted, its core, it goes all the way back to the ancient pagan Roman Empire. All right, those principles, all of that. And we see that here today. But these devils being back, remember, it's the same Edomites, the same devils that were back there. They set up that system back then. And now they're back here again to revive that system and to move forward with it. Okay, so right now what we're seeing is they've revived that system, but now they're taking it a step further. They're moving forward with it. And they're saying what? To them that dwell on the earth. Notice it doesn't exclude or specify just one location. It says them that dwell on the earth. That's the planet. That's why you have something called a World Economic Forum. Okay, that's why if you've noticed, especially in the past 2 years, they've been addressing everything on a global level. World. It's just world. It's this planet. It's this inclusivity. It's everybody. Nobody left behind. There's a reason for that. In order for this to work, they're going for the world. Okay? So as it says, that's why it says he causeth all. Because when you go up a couple of verses, those same all, he has already, said to them that what? They should make an image to the beast. All right? Which had a wound by a sword and did live. Right? And verse 15 tells you what? He had power to give life to the image of the beast. So you have, you can have something, and then you can give that thing life. And an example is you have the system, we know that, but if you don't put that system into place, you haven't really given it life. When the Romans went down, right? When the the pagan Roman Empire went down, those laws and systems and way that they did things, right? That system that they had, you could say it died, but it didn't cease to exist. It died because it wasn't enacted. Nobody was really, they weren't really going directly by that same system anymore, but it still existed, right? People still know about it. So in this time, they've taken that system and now they've enacted it again. They've brought it back to life. Okay, they've brought it back into action to where you look at the amphitheaters and the theaters and and the Capitol Hill and the different deities and gods that they serve now. It all goes back there. The different quote unquote holidays, all of these things, and the agenda. And what you're going to start to see is what Antiochus Epiphanes was doing. First Maccabees, the first chapter. You're going to start to see that in the modern era edition. You're going to see 70 AD in the modern era edition. Okay, because that's exactly what they're getting ready to do. And it tells you in the book of Second Ezra, the 16th chapter, that it says there shall be an insurrection upon those that fear the Lord in every city and in every place. And at that point, you're going to realize that This isn't oh Lord, I need you to deliver me from this. Oh Lord, I need you to bless me here and help me out here. No, this is, oh Lord, my life is in your hand because these people are seeking my life. I'm wanted. I'm wanted for speaking upright. I'm wanted for preaching your word. I'm wanted for believing in you. It's dangerous out here. This isn't something that I can just get by. It literally, it's do or die. And you got to be ready for that because that's the mindset that this N.W.O is going to push everybody into, or at least those that are of the elect. You're gonna need to lock into a different mindset, a different energy. All right, and that's why the Lord said or that's why the scriptures say in the book of Revelation 3:10 that the Lord is gonna keep us. All right, Shamar, He's gonna keep us. He's gonna guard us. He's gonna prohibit us from giving into that temptation. So you gotta have the mindset of there's a saying that God helps those who help themselves. Well, going into this thing as they're bringing it, I should say, right? As they're bringing it, and they keep talking about this transition is going to be painful, meaning it's going to be chaotic. But what do? They plan to after they've accomplished a certain degree of chaos and broken down certain barriers and walls that were in their way through the chaos, and have pinned the blame and have set the world against who they want. Then they're going to bring the order. Then they're going to say, look, send in them peacekeeping troops because this is chaos all around. All right. And bring that order by force. Because, yeah, violence is going to come, but people don't like violence. They revert to violence or resort to violence when they feel like there's no other way. But ultimately, man, nobody really wants to live in a world where you're scared to step outside, where there's fires and gunshots every 2 seconds, where your life is on the line, where you're hungry, you're starving, it's dangerous. People don't like that. So when they bring in them troops to calm things down, there's going to be people that are going to be like, yo, F this, we not with it. But there's going to be people saying, yes, please, come and shut this thing down. It's too crazy out here. And they're going to start hauling you off to them camps. So that painful transition is coming. But at the end of that, once they've used that force and they've put you down, that's it. That's it. The only way after that is Yahushua delivering us, literally. And the world is going to find that because what we're going to be living on is going to be a prison planet. Okay? Whether you're either a prisoner or you're dead. So it's going to be by the will and the mercy of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua that the elect are going to make it. And you're going to have some close calls, but it's all a part of the story. Your goal is to make sure you don't doubt the Lord. You make sure you don't lose faith in the Lord. Because you don't want to be that individual that lost faith just before the Lord brings the deliverance. How you going to feel? You're going to be there. The Lord has delivered you. And now you're like, damn, I doubted you, Lord. I lost that faith. And boom, you came through like you said you would. You didn't waver. I wavered. You don't want to, you want to be with the energy of, you know what, Lord, no matter what happened, no matter how close it was, how dangerous it was, look, Lord, I kept my faith in you. And you came through. And you're gonna have that faith boost, instead of that feeling bad, you're gonna have that faith boost of, Lord, I trusted in you, I kept my faith in you. You think when you mentioned that in Job, though he slay me, yet will I maintain my trust in him. You think that's an easy thing? The fact that you're calling on your power, hoping he's gonna deliver you, but he says, no, I want them to take you out, or I want this to happen to you for whatever reason that I'm looking for. That's not an easy thing. Okay, to where you almost feel forsaken. Okay. And you're calling on the Lord and he can hear you, but ain't nothing happening. It's not easy in that moment being in the flesh to then still maintain yourself and say, I'ma still trust the Lord. That's when you're gonna find out. I'm not even gonna say that's when you're gonna find out if others are right trust in the Lord. No, that's when you're gonna find out if you trust in the Lord. Okay? When we get tested, When everybody gets tested, because everybody's going to get tested, each and every one of us is going to find out if we individually actually trust in the Lord. And we hope and pray that we do. I mean, right now it's easy to say that, and you feel that way, but are you going to feel that way under that heat that's coming, under that pressure? You might surprise yourself. Okay, and that's why we always have to pray for the Lord to keep his spirit on us. Because now is not the time to play to jeopardize that at all. Definitely not. Okay, but back in Revelation 14, so as you can see, they're saying here, let us make an image to the beast. So they're pushing this like to the world, look, accept this new way. But you have to look at it from the minds of the elites as best as you can. If you're trying to push your agenda on the world, that everybody has their idea of their own utopia, and nobody wants to feel oppressed, and nobody wants to feel like you have all this control over them, how then do you pitch your world domination, imprisonment of them and their freedoms onto them in a way where they accept it? How do you do that? Well, you got to think about it. Whatever system that they got right now, you have to make it look bad. Okay, you have to make it look bad. Look, that's like what these wicked niggas do. Dude sees a chick, right? She got a man, he wants her. So, he's trying to make her man look bad. Anything that happens, if there's an argument or something, he's trying to really put a wedge in there and completely separate that to make him, some people think that talking shit about somebody else makes them look good. You think putting somebody else down makes you look better. In some cases, like what these elites are doing, that they get people with that, but people that actually have, strong minds can see through that and see that you're full of ish. But the point is, if they can make this old world seem very bad, then they'll force people to want to transition. If you make somebody uncomfortable enough, they'll want to move, right? Somebody comes, somebody somewhere where they at, and you go there, you just make them uncomfortable. You see somebody sitting, by themselves, and you go and sit next to them. You start playing music. You're talking really loud on the phone. You're trying to make them so uncomfortable that they want to leave. They want to move from where they're at, even if they were comfortable there at first. So what do you see them doing? This world with cash and debit cards and credit cards and your state ID that you can show them and all of that. Well, people are comfortable with that. So what do they want? They want to make you uncomfortable with that. So bring a recession, bring a famine, bring pestilences, bring all the things that can make this normal world seem so bad. You just want to run away from it. You don't want to live in this kind of world anymore where things are so hard. You can barely live. And what are they going to tell you? Hey, damn, you living over there. Look, there's a whole fire over there. Come on here. No, nobody left behind. Come on, you and your kids and your family and your dog, everybody. We got you. We'll provide you a nice way to go. And boom, you fell into their trap. Okay? And that's why, look, the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is heavy. It's heavy because he's controlling both sides. He's all the ideas they're doing, all the tactics they're using, all the means and the Lord is the one behind it. So the spirit of the Lord is truly indeed is mighty. And what we're about to witness before all is said and done, there will be no doubt in anybody's mind, whether they agree or not, there will be no doubt in everybody's mind that there is one power. His name is Yahweh and his son's name is Yahushua, and that is them. Some people are going to know and some people are going to feel like, damn, they're evil. Okay? Hold on a second. All right. Some people are going to feel like, damn, they're evil. But they're going to know that, yeah, that is when they talk about God, when anybody mentions God or the Most High, they're going to know who to picture. They're going to remember the events that are going to transpire very soon. Whenever anybody mentions God, Most High, they're going to remember the events that transpired in Jacob's trouble, and they're going to know who to associate it with. So whether you agree or you don't disagree, you will know who the true power is. There ain't going to be no arguments about that. All right. So yeah, I just wanted to make that point in verse 14. Now I want to get Psalm chapter 83, because the book of Psalms, but the 83rd chapter, it goes into that about the counsel, the secret counsel of the wicked. Now you best believe that what they're allowing to come out and be recorded is not it's just like a cover story. It's like a newspaper cover image. All right. The true, when they give you a timeline and they say it openly, or the next 5 years or the next 10 years, they're throwing that out there for people to see, because they know people are watching. Deep down inside, they like, look, we gotta move quick. Next 5-10 years. Well, what you think this is? We gotta move quick. We gotta do this. We gotta do this. Right? Biden came into office, and he came into office with gun control. Yeah, we gotta stop these guns. These guns are dangerous. They're dangerous. And then, they did a couple, false situations. Then it just calmed down a bit. And now all of a sudden, as everything is starting to move in a particular direction with speed, all of a sudden you having all these shootings. Frank James, this Buffalo shooter, now they're saying there's somebody that shot up I think an elementary school or so in Texas. All this gun violence out of nowhere is just rising, boom, 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 like hurricane season. And they're moving quick. They're look at that. Oh, we got to stop that. So we're at the point where even if they try to slow things down, you can't stop the ball from rolling. Okay, it's rolling, man, and we're seeing these prophecies, and the prophecies are only going to be prolonged for so long. All right, we're in the end days, the last days. So at some point, we're gonna get to the last day. Okay, at some point, days or months are going to become weeks, and weeks are going to become days, and days are going to become hours. Okay, this is the book of Psalm chapter 83 verse 1. It says, keep not thou, this is a psalm of Asaph, keep not thou silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. And that's that's the prayers. That's how we cry unto the Lord, because these devils are getting ready to actually come down with great wrath, and we are their primary target. They're mustering up the elites of the world, the governments of the world, the armies of the world to come against the remnant. That's the true core. That's the core of it, because at the beginning it may seem like they have a lot of resistance, but it's only going to take, it's not going to take too much for them to break that resistance. All right, when you want to talk about last man standing, that's going to be the elect, because they're the ones who see. It's not like all right, you only got to play to the second quarter. You only got to play to the third quarter. No, we got to play the whole game. We don't get to sit out in the third quarter or no. We got to play the whole game, and we got to win. Okay, so whatever tactics they bring, we have to endure that. We don't get to say, damn, this one got me. I'm sorry, I can't go further. No, we got to go, because real quick, I'm going to get this. This is the book of Romans chapter 11 verse 4. It says, but what saith the answer of God unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men, which is a complete number, who have not bowed the knee to what? To the image of Baal. Okay, so applying it now, you have a reserved number, okay, that the Lord has reserved, meaning he has made sure, the Lord has invested into these spirits, and he has made sure that under no circumstances are they gonna bow or turn their backs on the Lord. They're gonna stand firm. As Ezra said, those that stood so stiffly, okay, those that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. That's how you got to be. I remember the elder apostle Baqar mentioned this. This was, I think, years ago. He mentioned about your faith. He said, look, you want your faith to be like a frozen pillar, like a thick, big, giant pillar, frozen in like solid ice. All right, that's unmovable. It's not, you can't shake it, you can't crack it. You just, that's how you want your faith to be. Okay, you don't want to be like a reed or a leaf blown in the wind. No. And that's why you got to, if you're in the right doctrine, you stay here, you pray, you fast, you learn, and you grow, and you strengthen yourself. All right. A lot of people that are, they're just here. They're not involved. They're not in the midst. They're not in the fire. They're just here at the entrance. You're going to get blown away. All right. If you're not fully persuaded in your mind and ready to dig in and get hands on and grab onto a brick and start building, you're going to get blown away. Okay, because you're not rooted. And if you're not rooted, what are you waiting for? Are you not sure if this is what you want to get rooted in? Like, what is it? Because you got to make a choice. Nobody ever told you that not making a choice is a choice. Okay, if you decide not to do anything, that's a choice. You decided not to do anything. Okay, so everybody got to make a choice. Everybody has to make a stance. You're either for the Lord or you're not. Okay, so back to the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 2, it says, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones." And as a matter of fact, they're doing that now. Micah 2 and 1. They're devising iniquity upon their bed. And when the morning is light, they practice it. They have the power to do so. And they're taking crafty counsel. So when they throw those little shots and they say, oh, we got to control free speech, we got to amend freedom of speech, we got to change that up a bit. They throw out little sayings, little shots. They say, look, things are going right, but there's little pockets of people that are pushing out misinformation against what's going on. When they throw out these, they know exactly who they're talking about. Look, they watch. Don't think, just because I put up a video and it has 200 views, or it has 30 views, or it has 1 view, or no views, or 1,000 views, and you say, well, what is that compared to these rappers or these entertainers who get millions of views, these video gamers who get millions of views? Guess what? Those millions of views, they're vain. But those, at least, they're watching that 1 view, that 0 view, that 1,000 or that 500 views. They're watching. Okay, and they're listening. So don't go based off what the world does. People in the world, they're not gonna let you know that what you guys are truly, saying what's right. They're not gonna do that. Deep down inside, they know, and they act based on that. Don't be surprised. Okay, don't be surprised. So it says here, verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Why? Because when they take away that the Israel, that's why they got their vocab Malones and all these losers set up to try and strip off that the sinews, and try to take the breath out. But you can't. You're fighting against prophecy. You're fighting against the Lord. You're gonna lose. But why are they doing that? Because what comes? Look, ask yourself this, right? Look at the world today and ask yourself this: what comes with the remembrance or the name of Israel being in the earth? What comes with that? Well, look at what's happening in the earth right now. Compare it with the 50s or the 40s or the 30s. Even though you might not have been alive, but just, even when you were younger. Okay, and you look at how the world is moving now compared to how it was back then, there's a difference. Why is the difference there? Because we're waking up to who we are. The spirit of Israel is coming back into the earth. So there's a shift. There's a different spirit that's out here. The prophets are out. All right, you got people waking up, changing up their lifestyle, calling upon the name of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. That is a problem, right? Because it's like we're reviving a power that was a terror onto these nations, right? We're waking up a power that was a terror onto these nations. So that's why we're such a problem. That's why they want to cut us off. They want to take away the faith. They want to take away the mindset. They want to take away the records. They'll have it, but they don't want us to get our hands on it. And they attempted it once, but it failed. So now they want to do it permanently. Okay. It says, and I'm gonna read just a little bit, not the whole thing. I'll probably read to the 5th verse. For they have consulted together with one consent. Look, the world elites are not just Edomites. You have elites of these other nations as well. Elites of the Moabites, of the Ammonites, of the Elamites, of the Ishmaelites, of these secret societies. It's not just Edomites. So all these nations, they come together. They're top secret societies. And they come together and they say, all right, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. And they actually believe that they're running things. But that's why Yahushua is going to come back and show them how it's done. So, I mean, they could bring whatever they're going to bring. But look, I mean, you might as well just take us out. You might as well just take us back to the spirit world. Because if your goal is to try and convert us, you try and break us, you're trying to turn us away from our power, you're wasting your time. And you go and touch the wrong ones, and there's going to be some spiritual ass whooping coming for your ass. All right, it's what it says, Isaiah 59:19. And the scriptures say, touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. So this time, the prophets of the Lord are not going to be backed into a corner anymore. And you come and try to touch the Lord's anointed, you try to touch the Lord's elect, you're going to get hurt. Okay, you're going to get hurt, because how do we know you're going to get hurt? Well, if you don't get hurt, how are the elect going to survive? Right? Because we're going to have those that are going to be martyrs, but you're going to have the rest that are going to survive, that are going to get the victory over the beast. Now, the beast, when we go back to Revelation 13 and 15, it says, and he had power to give life to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as, hear this part, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be what? Should be killed. So the elect are not going to worship the image of the beast. So what does that mean? That means that they're going to come to try and kill the elect. So if they come to try and kill the elect, does it not stand to reason that they're going to have to get hurt? Because how is the Lord going to defend his elect? Is he going to allow them to kill us? No, that's not what he said. So he's going to need to do something. If somebody's coming at you with killer intent, you're going to need to hurt them to defend yourself. Because their mindset is, I'm going to kill you if I get the chance, I'm going to kill you. See? So if you come, because we know the spirit you're going to come with, but once you come with that, the Lord says he's going to lift up that standard. And that standard is going to be more than enough. So we're not afraid of you, because we know that you're not even in control of your thoughts. You're not even in control of your actions. If a troop comes and he got a gun to your head, the fact that he's doing that, the Most High got him doing that. He's not even in control of his actions. You know, he's quote unquote following orders. The Most High is the one who's controlling all their minds. So, you know, you may try to do whatever, but we know your next move. We know how the game ends. We know you get checkmated. And if you take one of us out, guess what? We're coming right back. So you lose either way, and we win either way. If we die, we come back. If we don't die, we get changed and we still take over this place. So it's not that this devil's about to lose. He's already lost. All right. We're just watching. We're watching real life catch up to the scriptures, to what's written. They've already lost. Before they even started, before they even come down and try to put a charagma aside, they've already lost. You know, it's like you about to fight somebody and they're look, you already, like, I came from the future and you already lost. He beat you. I mean, he beat you, bro. You were in the hospital, bro. And this is before you've even thrown the first punch. Okay, so the book of Psalms 83 and 5, for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. But even in even in that, they're not going to stand. Because our power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is far more powerful than them. And he's going to, I mean, what the Lord is going to do to you, man, you ought to go cower in fear, because the Lord is about to use you as an example. And we all know what happened the last time the Lord decided to make examples out of people. Because, you know, when you make an example out of somebody, it's not just like a regular punishment. You got to go harder. You know, you got to make it extra to put fear. Okay, to put fear. So you look at like Pharaoh. Look at what the Lord did to him. You look at Nebuchadnezzar, how the Lord gave him the mind of a beast. You look at Antiochus Epiphanes, what the Lord put him through. Okay, so when the Lord makes an example out of you, as he's going to do out of you, Esau, okay, and show the world why it is that you don't, nobody messes with the Lord, that you don't try to do what this devil did, Sodom and Gomorrah. So you should be afraid of what the Lord is getting ready to do to you, because he's about to make you an example. Hey, man, shit, it's a bad time not to be of the elect. Let me put it like that, because nobody's going to get spared. I'm not just going to say it's a bad time to be an Edomite. which it is. It's a terrible time. It's always a terrible time to be an Edomite. Okay. Even when you prosper, and it's a terrible time because you got to keep in mind what's going to happen to your ass. Okay. As Apostle Hart says, you're gonna have a foot, our foots, not our feet, our foots. We're gonna have our foots, all right, sideways in your ass. Okay. So, anyway, the book of Psalm, chapter 64, verse 1, it says, "Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer, preserve my life from the fear of the enemy." Is a psalm of David. "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." As it says in 2nd Ezra 16, there shall be an insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, all right, in every place. Verse 3, "Who whet their tongue like a sword." That word whet, W-H-E-T, means to sharpen. It says, "And bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect," all right, which is really Israel, but it's more specifically the elect. And that's what they're getting ready to do. It says, "Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter." Well, what do you think they're doing over there? Do you actually think that these devils are gathered together to come and try to make the world a better place for everybody? You look, man, them movies, somebody just gets up and says, "Damn, that Buddha shit, right? Damn, I experienced poverty and hard times, and damn, I want to make the world a better place for everybody." That's not, no, bro. That's no, that's not how it works. And especially not these devils. I mean, the scriptures say that they're born going astray. It says that the spirit that's in him is not upright. So you think that these demons who have a wicked spirit, who've been a murderer from the beginning, are going to come together because they care about the well-being of everybody? That doesn't even sound right. So that's why it says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. Of course they would encourage themselves in an evil matter. They're not over there discussing how to make your lives better. They're discussing how to oppress you. This is what deception looks like at its finest. Technological deception. Okay? It says they commune of laying snares privily or privately. They say, "Who shall see them?" And what they're doing is they're setting up a big ass snare for the inhabitants of the planet. Now, when you set a trap, you put bait in it, right? And when you set a trap, do you make it obvious that this is a trap? No. As a matter of fact, you make it enticing so the person will want to fall into it. So, of course, they're not going to make this plan, this new age, this digital age, look like it's dangerous or something you don't want to be a part of. They're going to try to bait you in there. Okay? Whether they scare you in it or they entice you into it. All right, but it says here, "Who shall see them?" They think they got it all on lock. They think, yeah, once we shut down these people, close their mouths, make them look like bug outs, and then who's gonna stop us? Okay. Well, clearly you haven't seen the chariots that have been showing up on record amounts. So ask yourself, why is that happening? How are you gonna factor that in? But they're getting ready to fight against them. Shows you how mentally deranged this devil is. You're gonna fight against the angels? Are you serious? And see, right now it sounds so ambitious. Oh, they got enough technology to try to fight against the angels and the Lord. In the kingdom, it's gonna sound so stupid. Like, wait, these guys actually try to fight the angels? Damn, how stupid can these guys be? What, who thinks about that? Who says I want to I'm gonna fight the creator and the son and the angels? What? It's like if you're a potter and you make a vase and the vase grows a mouth and hands and it's trying to square up with you. You're like, bro, if I just backhand you, you're gonna break. I made your ass. Like, hey, but it goes to show you once again the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so let's finish this up. This is verse 6. They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Yeah, when you actually look at the details of what they're trying to implement, that it's actually very intricate. Okay, when you look at what the charagma is going to do and how it's going to function and how much control This whole system actually it gives them, it's actually very intricate, but we don't give credit to these devils. The only reason that the heart, meaning their mind, is deep and they're able to think of all of these things is because the Lord put it into their minds. The only reason they were able to come up with an atomic bomb or a nuclear weapon is because the Lord put it into their minds. Okay? Verse 7, it says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they're not going, just when they think they got it all, it tells you that in the book of Job, the 20th chapter, you think you got it. Oh, yes. We're about to fill our bellies. Boom. That shit is all going to go south. The missiles are going to fly. And your worst enemy, when they see Yahweh Shai, it's going to be like they've seen a ghost. It says, verse 8, so shall they make their their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a lot of people, quote unquote, insiders, FBI or CIA agents, or people that have worked with this technology, or in their agenda, coming out and exposing these things, saying, yeah, this is what they plan to do. And the Spirit of the Lord is behind that because it gives us more information. Verse 9, it says, all men shall fear and shall declare the work of God, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. See, once again, when all this is said and done, I mean, you're going to see the true New World Order. Okay? Verse 10, the righteous shall be glad in the Lord Yahweh, and shall what? Shall trust in him. Not just say it, but actually do it. And all the upright in heart shall glory. So, once again, are you ready for the N.W.O? Because it's ready for you. All right, you wanna be a part of this righteous that is glad in the Lord. All right, but you gotta be ready to take whatever the Lord brings upon you cheerfully. All right, and endure whatever hardships the Lord brings, because the scriptures say that the better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And it says in Sirach, the 2nd chapter, cleave on to him and go not astray, right? Lest ye fall. But you cleave unto the Lord, that thou mayest be increased at thy latter end. Okay? So with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. The water for all the precepts. Salaki, I wasn't really able to hit them. Sometimes you get sometimes you're not, really able to. But Lord willing, that was edifying and exhorting to the elect. And then closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.